Hello, welcome back to Mr. Bob's Builds. In today's short episode, I show the completed gun, limbers and figures in the form that they will appear on the final model. And here the gun and limbers are in their primed form, and here they are with a base coat of War Department green. I read somewhere that this green was a Brunswick green, and I decided that Tamiya's XF67 NATO green is a close approximation to that. Well, close enough for me anyway. In order to keep that colour in scale, I've flattened it down a bit with Tamiya Neutral Grey, which is XF53. For the final model, I've decided just to use the carriage limber, which is the top left, and the ammunition wagon, which is top and centre. I'm sure the other limber will come in handy for another project. And here are those three models in their completed state. You'll note that these have not been heavily weathered or chipped or bashed. They would have been very well cared for in the UK before arriving in France. They would have been subject to transport across fields and dusty roads in the hot August and September sunshine, albeit tempered by the occasional storm. So I added a few light dust and dirt effects to the finished model, using Vallejo Model Air Light Brown and 2 shades of light dust colour from Life Colour. The same weathering colours were applied to the figures, both applied by the trusty old airbrush. And now we turn to the figures. In the end, I used 13 figures for this model and had an absolute blast painting them. Before turning to looking at the models, it's worth having a look at the scale of these things. I have to say that I'm absolutely staggered by the amount of detail that the maker has got into these tiny figures. They were an absolute joy to put together and paint. I'm delighted with this new brow scale experience. So much so that I put in an order for a Dragon Tiger tank and some figures to go with it. More on that in a future episode of Mr. Bob's Builds. Now on with the figures. Here's those 3 WD Models infantrymen a bit closer up. The 3 different poses go really well together and they look good as a group. And here are a couple of officers. The chap on the left with the binoculars is an early war miniatures figure. The other man is from WD Models. The early war miniatures figure is nicely posed, but not quite the quality of the WD Models figure. I'm very happy with the WD Models chap, but it strikes a discordant note. It's a bit of a continuity blooper. It was only when painting him that I realised he had a gas mask case on his chest, which places him at a later date than my intended model. Nevertheless, I'm going to use him. If I tell you that that case on his chest is for carrying maps, I think that'll do it. Now it's time to turn to the gun crew. The first 6 figures are all WD Models figures. Each gun in the field had a team of 10. Basically 6 to serve the gun in action, and 4 to move ammunition, act as a reserve, and to tend the horses at the wagon line. Each gun crew member had a number, denoting their duties and responsibilities. And here from left to right, we have numbers 1, 2 and 3. The number 1, here a sergeant, was in command of the gun. The number 2 operated the breech mechanism and was responsible for the range indicator and field clinometer. He also manned the right wheel. The number 3 was responsible for the sights. He laid the gun and fired it. Now we turn to numbers 4, 5 and 6. To keep you on your toes, number 4 is on the right hand side. His job is to load the gun and to man the left wheel in action. Numbers 5 and 6 prepare and supply the ammunition. It's also the job of the number 6 to set the fuses. On my model, the number 5 will be depicted preparing to move the gun. Last up, we have 2 of the reserves. They will be depicted manhandling the carriage limber. The figure on the right is from early war miniatures, and the man on the left is from WD models and has been converted from one of the figures included in the wiring party set. Well, that's just about it for today. This group finishes in just over a week, and I wasn't sure I was going to get it finished in time, but I think I'm on course to do that. I'm working on the base, and I hope to have a video up showing that soon. And then it will be the final reveal. So, it's goodbye for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you'll come back soon.